Greetings and welcome back to the Casual Wargamer. As you can probably hear by the sound of my voice, Nurgle's rot is finally beginning to clear itself. My cough is slowly going. I'm on the hot chocolate as always, helps soothe things. Okay, you're not here to hear about my health or my hot chocolate. As you know, every month I partake in a 1,000-point tournament at my local game store, GamesHub, which I generally do really badly. I have a thing with work where I always get the first Saturday of the month off. However, the store does 2 tournaments a month, both 1,000 points, both give a bit more variety. People can't make a specific date. And normally I have to work weekends. But this time I managed to blag the opportunity to take that second tournament. So last weekend, that's exactly what I did. Now this time, I decided to keep to the same list that I played 2 weeks earlier. Because quite frankly, I felt running into 2 players with super heavy tanks, Baneblades, was a little unfair on my list. I thought, okay, let's try it now where people probably aren't going to be bringing that and see what I can do. So, on this particular... to be fair, actually, I shall go through that because if you haven't seen the previous vid, you won't know what the list is. I will pop it in the comment or description down below. But basically, I was playing the Gladius task force because I think it was a little bit more useful. Basic captain, bolt rifle, mastercrafted power weapon with the Honor Vehement as his enhancement. He's attached to 6 Blade Guard veterans in a Spartan. Can't go wrong with that. In addition to that, I had 3 5-man heavy intercessor squads, each with a heavy bolter, and a unit of infiltrators, just because you never know. And, well, it was an interesting day's gaming. On top of this, my other half, she decided, despite having absolutely zero interest in Warhammer, being very bored when I'm watching battle reports on the telly for it, and so on, and always asking questions and claiming she doesn't know what's going on, she wanted to come down and watch. Which she did for about 20 minutes, and then went, I have absolutely no idea what any of you are doing, and she went off to see some friends. I do have plans. I will eventually get her to play a demo game of 40k. I may make a monster in that, but we'll see. Bear with me one moment. Hot chocolate cools. Okay. First round of the day, I got put against my usual Dark Angels opponent, Robin, who brought a rather interesting Inner Circle task force. I believe Belial, Azrael, and a Terminator captain as his main sort of driving force for this. We got Search and Destroy, Chosen Battlefield, and Vital Ground. So we sat across quarters from ourselves, and he's decided today he's running fixed secondaries, which is something I'm not a big fan of. At some point I will do a video on that. But he's taken behind enemy lines, I believe it was, and deployed teleport homers. And he gets up to the middle of the table, starts doing this stuff, and I'm taking him off, killing his unit, and I think it was Azrael in the middle, who didn't last long. And then he's dropping down characters into my deployment zone, and they didn't last very long. His plan of being able to drop down and do this turn after turn fizzled because he basically locked me or forced me to stay in my deployment zone, which just gave me loads of firepower to kill anything that he tried to do this with. And this was quite a close game. We were matching points all the way through. And I really thought, actually, I might have this one. Unfortunately, it was not to be. And Robin snuck a 51-46 win. Pardon me. Well deserved. It was him being able to score at the end of his turn, at turn 5, that basically did it. Otherwise, I think, Had I been able to be a little bit more proactive, I might have been able to do that one. I don't think his secondaries helped all that much. He just had a little bit more maneuverability to grab primaries. The other thing I should raise for this one was this is the setup where you have 5 objectives, you alternate placing them, but the one nearest the middle goes. I'm always of the opinion of this, and I say this to people, just whoever goes first, just throw it in the middle and just, we'll have 4 evenly spaced objectives, or reasonably. But people keep saying, oh, tactically deploy them, do this so that you might be able to get rid of your opponent's, deployment, so on. I'm not a fan of that, and I don't really. It was one little grumble for me because I don't think people should be interfering in that sort of side of the game. That's still part of the interaction between the players. But I kind of felt that was a little bit, meh, realistically, I think we did what I suggested. Just plonk one in the middle, get rid of that, and then we just make sure we sit down with the others. That's just a little sideline. Yeah, just a little bugbear for me, I suppose, on that game. But a well-won battle for Robin on that. The second game was against the young man who I had not faced before, Brandon, who brought a Raven Guard army, painted as raptors, but with Shrike, Vanguard Spearhead. However, our setup for this one was Dawn of War, Scrambler Fields, and Sites of Power. We both only had 1 character, so Sites of Power. No, he might have had 2 actually. I think he had a Apothecary Biologist. Yes, I think he did. So 2 of them, 2 characters, actually one of mine. But it also meant that his Vanguard Infiltrator units couldn't start on the objectives. They had to sit just off of them. It put me in a bit of a bad spot to start with. And the placement of some of his units forced me to play my hand a little bit, and I had to basically leap out of the Spartan to get rid of a unit before it caused problems. But it then meant he was able to pour fire on mine. And pretty much, it's amazing what Shrike and his little guys with their jump packs are capable of. And they went through my army quite, like a lightning claw through butter, let's put it that way. Really good game. I really enjoyed it a lot. Brandon stole an 89-11 victory, which was quite nasty. He was pretty much on the objectives and I couldn't shift him. He was killing mine before I got anywhere near it. It was really interesting to see how that sort of list played. And I'm not sure how I would have countered it had I not been forced to react so quickly early on in the game. The last match of the day was against my friend Mulch, who brought a Hypercrypt Necron list. Oh, okay. Yeah. There's not a lot I can say about this one. We were playing Hammer and Anvil, Targets of Opportunity, and Supply Drop. And, well, let's just say it did not go well for me. This was probably one of the quickest games I've played in a very, 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 very long time. And it ended up 90-13. And I'll just put out that in these little tournaments, because they're meant to be new player friendly, we don't do the 10 points for painted. Otherwise, he would have been on max 100 points. The other thing that I will point out, which was quite horrible, really, I was left with, I think, about 3 models on the table where his army was fully intact and fully healed because I just couldn't kill anything. He either brought it back or fully healed it through the use of his various characters he had spread around. And he decimated me pretty much with 2 Citan, the Nightbringer and the Deceiver. And, oh my word, this was a really frustrating game. I mean, I always have a good game against Mulch. But my word, this was a frustrating and quite horrible game. Poor 3 Marines running away at the end of the day, and his army fully intact was quite a shock. 90-13. I came last. I did win, however, Sportsmanship Award. I got a free chocolate bar from the snacks, which is like, yay, I'll take that for a win. As for my list, I think it was reasonable against the Dark Angels. I just wasn't prepared, I think, for him being in my face pretty much straight off the bat. Pretty much the same against Brandon's Raven Guard with his Vanguard. I just couldn't break through that initial forward deployment. And as I say, Necrons, you just can't kill them. They have literally become my most hated army in 10th edition to face at the moment. They are horrible. But that was the day's tournament. I had a good laugh, a good time. I can't complain at all when you have some good fun matches. Next one is in 2 weeks' time, and I think I have a list to try. Whether it will do any good, I don't know, but we shall see. Any thoughts or comments, please drop them down. Have a laugh at my expense for being so bad. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care. Good gaming.